Are you thinking about buying a home but don't know where to start and live in Bakersfield, Delano, or surrounding areas? Well, that's perfect because this video is going to be for you, so make sure to stick around and watch till the end. So today in this video, I want to talk to you about the home buying process, and I'm going to go through all the steps with you if your real estate agent still hasn't done so. And I know that real estate can be overwhelming, especially if you're a first-time home buyer and don't know the whole process. So it's just a lot of things that go through it, right? Not just, you just don't get your keys, submit an offer and get your keys to the property, right? And that's something that I want to talk to you, because it looks like if you clicked on this video, it's because you're either a first-time home buyer or just don't know the whole process and want to learn a little bit more about the process. So the first thing that you're gonna be doing is, of course, you're gonna be seeing if you qualify for a loan or financially, right? Are you gonna pay for that property? You can either pay it cash, right? But the most route that most buyers take is getting a home loan, and that's getting pre-qualified, right, through a loan officer. And so this is a good thing, right, that you're here in this video, because you usually can get a loan either through a bank or like Wells Fargo, right, Chase, or whatever your preferred bank is. And then also you can get qualified for a home loan as well through a loan officer, and it can be any type of loan officer in the area, right? So usually a real estate agent might have their preferred loan officer that they work with, and each loan officer has also different loan programs. And depending on what type of property you're gonna be looking for, each loan officer might have specific loans, right? So if it depends, right? If you're looking for a residential home or a mobile home, or what type of loan are you looking for? Are you looking to purchase land also, right? Because every loan is different, and also every loan officer has different loans for each type of thing, right? So yeah, the first thing that you're gonna be doing, like I said, you're gonna be getting pre-qualified. Then next thing is that once you're qualified, you're gonna start going with your real estate agent, letting them know what type of properties that you like, or would like to go and take a look at. And your real estate agent is gonna be sending you homes, right, that come out into the market. Specifically, what I like doing with the clients that I help out with is I always send them a list of the homes that they like. It just depends, right? Are you looking for a 3-bedroom, a 4-bedroom, a 2-bathroom, or a 3-bathroom? And also it's important as well to meet with the loan officer, because they're gonna qualify you for the loan amount that you qualify for. And depending if you qualify for something like 450,000 for your loan, or 300,000, well, this is gonna give me a better sense of what type of properties to send you and your price range, as well as the specifics that you tell me that you're interested in, right? Like I said, you know, how many bathrooms are you looking for, how many bedrooms, and I'll make sure to send this out. But once you get qualified, right, that's why it's really important to get that pre-approval from the loan officers. And I always tell my clients, you know, like, yes, it's better to meet with a loan officer first and just see your numbers, what you qualify for, and that way, like, you won't be wasting, and together we won't be wasting our time, right, looking for properties that are not within the budget, right? Plus also the loan officer will go into more details with you, like what monthly payments are you comfortable on doing. So that's the first thing, right? Getting pre-qualified. Now, like I said, also I'm gonna be giving you the list of homes that you're pre-qualified for on the price range. Once you see the home that you like, we're gonna go and take a look at it, right? And let's say that you do like that property that we went to go and take a look at. Then the next thing would be that we would submit an offer together, right, on the property, and it just can be depending, right? Like let's say the property is at 350 and you want to offer something else. Well, I'll do that negotiation for you. And as long as we also go in with the mindset too, right, that we can't be submitting low offers either, because yeah, if we submit low offers, of course, right, the seller is gonna be rejecting that and be even like thinking like this is not like a serious buyer, so we're just wasting our time, you know. So that's one thing that I do want to prepare you for. We're just not submitting low offers, right? Just kind of like put yourself in the seller's shoes, right? If that was your property, would you want a low offer? Of course not, right? Like you would just throw those low offers and not even waste your time with those. And then so next, after we're done submitting the offer, and let's say that we get the seller to say yes or no, they can come back with a counter offer, right? But once everything is done, like negotiations and everything, I'll be guiding you through the whole process as we go. But once we're done with that, the next thing that we would do is that we would do our inspections, right? We would be doing the home inspection, termite inspection, and the evaluation inspection, right? Like how much the home is worth, if it's up to value, what they're saying. And so those are the three inspections that we have, right? But also one thing that I do want to mention is that some agents might have not mentioned this to you, right? But you also need a deposit. It can be about 1% of the purchase price, and that's gonna be the initial money deposit. And basically, this deposit is so you can let the seller know that you have some skin in the game, right? And it just tells them that you're a serious buyer. So with this initial money deposit, we still have our 3 inspections, right? And this initial money deposit, let's say that during the inspections, right, something comes up that you didn't like the home inspection, something comes up, right? Like the roof is not in good shape. We ask the seller if they can help us with that, with closing costs, or if they can help us with some money so we can get that fixed. But let's say that the seller doesn't agree to that. Well, we can always back out of the deal. And the thing is that, yes, you still get your initial money deposit, the 1% that you deposit. But I just want to make sure and clarify as well that we have those 3 inspections, right? And we have a limited amount of time to do those inspections. If something comes up where you don't like and you want to back out, you can get your money deposit back, that initial money deposit that you deposited, the 1%, as long as we still haven't removed our contingencies, right? But let's say if we remove our contingencies, which is those 3, again, the termite inspection, the home inspection, and the appraisal inspection. If we remove those, the thing is that you won't be able to get your money deposit back. And the reason why for this is because we already had a limited amount of time to do our inspections, and we're just wasting the seller's time as well, right? The seller could have been dealing with another serious buyer that wanted to move forward. But of course, even though we didn't know what the property had after the due inspections, the fact is that even though we still had plenty of time, right, to do the investigations, so the seller can be entitled to that money if we do remove our inspections. So that's something that I want to let you know aware of. And also, like, either way, like, all real estate agents and your real estate agent should let you know ahead of time about this, you know. So that's something that I do really help out my clients with, right? Because of course I'm not trying to for my clients to lose any money, right? And get them the best deal possible as well. But yeah, just knowing ahead of time as well, right? We can't be submitting low offers or anything like that as well. So these are the things that I want to let you be aware of, right? And then so once that's done, the inspections and all of that, right? We continue moving forward with the seller and still like continue doing our things, like if the property needs to get some repairs, like I said, right? if if like the roof or something needs repair, we can always go back and tell the seller, hey, like the inspection came up that the roof is not in good conditions, can you help us out with that, right? And fixing it, or either closing costs, if they can help us out with credits. So like I said, I'll just be helping you out through the whole process along the way. And then when that is taken care of and done, the next thing is that we're gonna be moving through escrow along the way, right? You're gonna be signing some documents, just making sure that everything's good. Your name is on title, or whatever persons you want to have on title, right? With escrow and any of that. But then also like verifying that everything's still good. You're still like working in the same job that you were previously at, because the loan officer too, right? They still want to make sure that everything is still good from since the beginning that we started, right? That you're still at your current job, that you haven't spent any money for other purchases, like big purchases, like a car, like a new car, right? So you don't want to be making those things, right? Like when you're submitting an offer for a home or considering and purchasing a home, that's one thing that I do want to stress to you about, right? Don't be making big purchases like buying a car or something else, right? And I just want to give you that advice ahead of time, because some buyers are not aware of this. And some agents have previously talked to me, you know, that some of the deals have fallen off due to their clients spending large amounts of money, right, into purchasing a car, but the client wasn't aware of this, right? So I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And then so yeah, heading towards the end, like I said, closing escrow. The next thing is that I'm gonna be handing you the keys to your property, but also before that, we're gonna be making sure to walk the property, me and you together, just making our final inspection, right, of the home, just to see that everything is still in place as it was when we first saw it. And if anything's out of place, like maybe appliances, right, the refrigerator's not there, but the seller said on the contract that he was gonna be leaving that behind, well, we can always let the seller know, hey, like still the property is not at the same condition as it was right before we walked it, that those were the things, right, like the appliances that were gonna be staying behind in the property. So these are some of the things that I want to make sure that you're aware of the whole process. And there's plenty of more down below in the comment section. You know, like if you have any questions for me, leave them down below there and I'll make sure to answer them, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, right, to all of this, and you have some questions for me, leave them down below. Also down below in the bottom, I'll be leaving all my information where you can reach me at if you're thinking about buying or selling a home. And I'm gonna be continuing talking about this in future videos. So make sure to subscribe and hit the like button and come back. So again, thank you for staying till the end of the video. See you on the next video.